Hey guys, what's up YouTube? Neoness is one of my favorite YouTubers. He recently put out a new video. Check this out. He has made 139,000 platinum, and these are the top 13 lessons that he's learned. Let's check it out.
Video is going to be ideal for people that have their foot in trade chat and kind of like have been here a little while, but if you're brand new to trade chat,
Also, I just want to give you guys a quick little sneak peek, lol. So we have this thing that I set up. So if you put something into the thing, it'll tell you how much estimated value, how much estimated, boom. If you add money to it, you're selling for 100 profits. You're gonna come out with 1,500. I have this. It's very valuable. Boom, boom. This is my inventory. Let us see what Neoness has to say about making 139k, because we're working on getting to 1 million platinum, and as you just seen by the spreadsheet I showed, all I have to do is sell everything I have for 120 profit off whatever, off Warframe. But still, yeah, anyways.
or if you're like, you've never really done it at all or whatever, these are still really valuable things for you to know. This video is going to be at the top things that I've learned on my way to 150,000 platinum.
How big am I though?
139,221. If you guys know what room I'm in right now in this video, then leave it in the comments below. I'm guaranteeing you there's something in this video that you didn't know already. Let me know what that is when you get to that in the comments as well. The number one thing that I get, what is the best way to make platinum? I know this is a hard answer for a lot of you to hear, but it's the absolute truth. There's no best way to make platinum. I know what you guys are ultimately asking because I'm a human being too, and I think like you do as well. I want to spend the least amount of time.
Okay, Neo is technically right here when he says that there's no best way to make platinum. He's not wrong, but at the same time, the reason why there's no best way to make platinum is because the best way to make platinum evolves over time. So whenever there's an event that you can farm certain items, the event's not come back for a long time, and people highly value certain items that are farmable, that's when you want to be farming that, right? So like the time of the year, the time of the update, everything changes, and because of that, the fastest platform in the game at like end game level or like max level or whatever, it's going to be constantly changing and dependent on certain things, certain variables,
And get the most amount of value out of something that is.
When you're first starting off and you want to put in the least amount of time, make the most amount of plat, I think the best thing, I could be wrong about this, but I think the best thing is corrupted mod farming and selling in trade chat. I would start like this, right? You have the corrupted mod price list like this. You do this, right? You copy it, you enter it, and then over here you take out any of them that you're missing and you lower any of them that you have multiple. If you don't get any sales, you can always lower them. It's up to you, right? So this is what you want to do. You want to have 2 copy paste messages in a notepad, one with the original and then the other one being the one that you've changed so that it works for you. And then if you ever need the original, you can always grab the original.
That is humanly possible. When it comes to making platinum, Neo, what's the magic pill? What's the trick? Knowledge. I'm being really serious when I say this. Binge my plat video playlist on this channel, because I cover all the different ways to make platinum in this game, and the more of those ways you know, the easier it's gonna get for you to make platinum. When you guys are coming down to my stream and you watch me making platinum,
Bro says binge watch my playlist of like tons of videos explaining how to make platinum. Alright, well, I'm gonna do the same thing. Binge watch my playlist, alright? I'm gonna make my playlist as short and as relevant and as up to date as I can, so that people don't need to watch a ton of videos to understand every single concept, because you can almost cover everything in less than an hour.
I'm here and there. It's happening because I'm using all these different videos that I've made, all the things that I've learned. So the more you know, the easier it's going to be. The more platinum you make off a single item, the longer it's going to take you to sell or farm that item.
Yes, true, but also you got to remember that you have a certain amount of trades per day. So if you have the ability to go through every single trade per day, and you're doing that every single day, that means that's just going to be more profits, as long as you're taking sales on it with every trade, or you're buying stuff to resell later. Using all your daily trades is going to be one of the main ways to maximize your profits. And then once you're using all your daily trades like consistently, and also like maybe even too quickly, to the point where you know that you could be making more profit if you just asked for more and bought stuff for cheaper, then that's when you can start stretching your margins out.
If something is gonna potentially yield you a load of platinum, versus if I just flip little like mods here and there that were like, they're kind of whatever to go farm out, it's not that hard to get them or whatever, I could make like a little bit of platinum here, a little bit of platinum there on a consistent basis. But if I want to make like real juicy plat, like I want to sell a Riven or a Lich with like certain stats or whatever, it's going to take a while to farm those things out. And then to be able to flip them in the game, it's also like a smaller pool of people that are looking for those items. So the more platinum you're able to make off an item, the more time it's ultimately going to take for you to farm or sell that item out. No one values your time, so you have to. Now, what I mean by that is, like, no one thinks about how long it may have taken you to farm something.
Holy shit. I feel like this is one of the most important things that most people who call me a scammer are actually doing to themselves, is that they don't value their own time, and because they don't value their time, they're trying to make me not value my time either, and they're valuing my time as very little. But that's not how it should be. Okay, you need to value your time and not allow yourself to sit there putting in tons of hours for something when you know you could get it faster. Like, you need to value your time, and if you put in a lot of time trying to do like farming something, you shouldn't be willing to sell it for what other people are willing to sell it on Warframe market just because they're willing to sell it for that price. Because if it took you a long ass time and other people are selling for dirt cheap, those other people might have got it really luckily and might have extras and they might not care, but you don't. You know, you put in that effort, so you should try to ask for more. You should try to respect your own time. Value your time.
Negativity touch you. People in this game kind of look at it like, oh, well, it doesn't matter how much time it took you to suffer farming something out. It doesn't matter how many hours you spent grinding those things out or whatever. Whatever you have, I want it, and I want it for as cheap as possible. And it is not wise or recommended by me to you for you to just give that stuff away because people got a little salty with you. In fact, you're just rewarding bad behavior if they're going to give you some kind of an attitude, and it actually makes you cave. If you're a glutton for punishment, you're going to do that anyway. Be like, yes, slap me, daddy. That's totally fine. Make sure you guys are liking and subscribing and all that stuff. If you sell it fair prices, expect complaints. It doesn't matter how good of a deal you're offering somebody.
If you sell at fair prices, expect complaints. And also, if you sell at reasonable prices for valuing your time, you're gonna get people literally calling you a scammer.
Going to complain. You're gonna sell things in this game and you're gonna be like, man, I see everybody else selling.
It's like, no matter what you put your prices at, people are going to message you and complain. I've had, like, sometimes I'll lower my prices and get people complaining about how my prices are overpriced, and then other times I'll raise my prices and sell things and have people messaging me telling me that with my prices I'm never gonna find a sale, but I'm still running out all my daily trades. So like, people are just gaslighting, people are just entitled, people don't understand the reality of trading, and they're trying to make you change because of it.
I'm selling it for 30 and I'm selling it for 20. Oh, I don't like your price, so if I insult you and I put you down for whatever reason, my brain makes me feel better, and then I'm gonna trick you into giving me what I want because I cried about it.
Yeah, no,
okay,
that
Karen,
doesn't work.
It's funny how everybody always has their own moral compass. Where I come from, this is how my worldview is. So if you're not selling at this price, then you're some kind of bad.
Exactly. It's like, oh, it's because, you know, like, other people are selling for this much, so you also need to sell for this much, otherwise you're a bad person. Like, it's so brain dead.
Person and let me have a problem with you. The best advice I have for that is expect that you're going to run into that, and 2, you need to toughen up and ignore it. Like, there is an ignore button in the game for a reason. I want you to all consider how funny this is too. For everybody that argues moral compass and says, oh, I don't like your, and I'm not saying ridiculously large prices for those of you that have already started typing in the YouTube comments. I'm not saying ridiculously large prices to the point of like, you want to sell like, I don't know, a Requiem mod for like 4,000 platinum or something astronomically ridiculous. Prices that aren't too far off from what a fair or average price would be. People want to complain about that all the time and then throw morals into the mix. But yet at the same time though, nobody ever throws morals into the mix when they see people in trade chat moving things too low. Hurting yourself by how low you're selling something or whatever. No one says anything about that.
Yeah, exactly. There's nothing wrong with shooting yourself in the foot, but as soon as you start valuing your feet and wearing shoes, people spit on you.
And that's not necessarily how moral compasses work. I do want to make this an important note though, based off of everything that we just went over. Most people won't complain in trade chat.
Yeah, the reality is that, like, okay, most people won't complain, but because you get one person complaining, it feels like a lot of people are complaining. Even though like there's over 100 people in trade chat and only one person ends up messaging you out of all those people, it's still just the one person. The minority is vocal, right? The vocal minority is loud and toxic.
They either just won't respond.
That's why it's better to just like fully ignore them, or to just hit them with the store responses, you know? Don't add emotion and just be like, sorry sir, if you I'm unable to drop the price as of today, you know? Sorry sir, this is the price that it is currently. If you don't want it, then move on to the next person. Like, fuck, just hit them with that cold, emotionless store mentality. Like, listen man, I am a shopkeeper. If you don't want my prices, that's fine, goodbye. Like, you know, don't get attached to people's trade offers, because fuck them.
Which is what I recommend. Or they'll just say no thank you or something like that. Sharks are everywhere, and what I mean by that is people that put messages in trade chat that are designed to basically get people that don't know any better to give them really good stuff. There are multiple levels of this. I'll give you.
Yeah, the thing is that people, there are sharks. Exactly. There are sharks, but they're not taking advantage of people. There are sharks out there who are literally buying prime parts for cheap, and there's like a competitive market where a lot of people are buying prime junk for cheap. Certain people are paying certain price, certain people are paying more, certain people are paying less. And so if you're like a noob brand new to the game and you're farming prime parts and you happen to have duplicate stuff that you don't want, then you can sell it to them and get platinum instantly, and just boom, convert your time wasted into platinum. But at the same time, a lot of these people are going to end up using the parts that you gave them to make more platinum down the line. And so it's a win-win situation. It's not like a bad thing. That's what you gotta understand. So it's a win-win situation that you can win on in the start and in the end. Like, you can win on both sides. This doesn't have to be a negative trading thing that people might think it is, but it's not.
Three of them right now. I'm sure it's not limited to just these three. One is Rivens, another one is Relics, and another one is Junk. A lot of times what I'll see is, I want to buy all Rivens for X amount of plat, link me your Rivens. This is with cherry picking.
Yeah, exactly. I started picking up Rivens lately, and I've been able to get so many insanely good Rivens for under 50 plat. I mean, even like 40 plat, 30 plat, 20 plat. Just because so many people have Rivens and they don't know what the worth is. And so when you put like a wanting to buy for like 10 or 11 or 12 different weapons for Rivens, you'll get stupid amount of offers that you're able to like pick and choose and get the cheapest ones and like the best ones for cheap.
It would be you link them all your Rivens,
but this is only if you're like specifically looking for Rivens that are like low dispo. Like if you're looking for like high disposition. So if you're like stat 6 stuff, I mean, if you're looking for actual Rivens for like the best weapons or whatever, it's gonna be a little bit more. You're gonna be waiting a little bit more till you get the offers. But if you make a list where you're literally willing to, buy all of the stat stick Rivens in the game that are worth flipping, and willing to buy them for like up to 50 plat maybe, depending on the rolls on it. Fuck man, the amount of plat potential profit from flipping Rivens is insane. I gotta do more practice. I haven't done enough Riven flipping. I've only flipped like 10 Rivens or something.
Get your Rivens and go, no, they all suck. I don't want any of them. And what they really want is for you to link them a Riven
that's really
worth
good.
Way more than you realize it's worth. Or a Riven that they know they could start dumping Kuva into and make a lot of platinum off of, that maybe you're not aware you could do that yourself. And those are the Rivens they're looking for.
Yep.
They're cherry picking. They're basically like, I only want the greatest stuff, and I'm gonna kind of take it from people that don't know any better. If that was a true message, the whole want to buy your Rivens for 50 plat, just PM me links or whatever, then it doesn't matter what your Riven is, they would buy it for 50 plat. People who cherry pick relics are kind of the same thing. It's like, want to buy all of your relics, X amount of platinum. Those items out of those relics, no matter what they are, whatever you wind up pulling out, worth way more in your hands. People who cherry pick prime junk, you'll see a message that says, want to buy your junk, PM me. You wind up PMing them a list of junk. I've personally jumped into these messages sometimes with people. I will say about half the time, they're not sharks. They're not sharking you. They're not trying to actually do anything, malicious or whatever. The other half of the time, I've gone in there knowing what junk actually is in Warframe, and I've put a list up of all junk. And these people have straight up just canceled out of the trade. Be like, nope, not doing it. Like, they're looking for specific things, and similar to the Riven instance, they're looking for items that maybe you're unaware are actually pretty valuable, but they know is not junk. Always ask if you need anything else. There's so many times where I have sold people, let's say like Requiem.
Yeah, this is one thing that I don't do often enough, and I find out that the more that I do it, the better results I have. So, especially with people who are using trade chat to purchase and not using Warframe Market to purchase things, these people a lot of times are willing to pay extra for convenience. So if you have everything that they need, they might be willing to spend extra.
Requiem mods, or like a single Requiem mod, and then the
Sorry about that.
the moment that I sell it to them and they leave my dojo, I will literally see them like 5 seconds later. They want to buy another Requiem mod. And I had that and I could have sold it to them also. So then I just hit them back up and they go, oh yeah, I need that too. And then they wind up coming back to the dojo when this all could have got done in one trade. Literally the amount of times that you can ask people in instances like, you know, certain mod sets or just whatever it is, like Warframes, anything, just feel free. Like, ask them, do you need anything else? This one is huge. I've preached this for years, and it seems like it's just getting further and further away from people's grasp. Always bargain. Unless you absolutely love the price that somebody has and you want to buy something for that, be bargaining. If the price that you're hitting them with is even close to their bargain price, they'll probably hit you back. I'm actually more likely, depending on what it is. Requiem mods, not really. The easier the item sells, then the less likely I am to bargain. Because if I know for a fact I'm going to be able to make X amount off of a certain item, why would I lower my price because they're bargaining? If I know it's really easy, I'm not bargaining with that stuff. But I'm usually pretty happy when I see people bargaining, even if it's something I'm not gonna give any wiggle room with on the price, because I don't see it enough and I want that to be rewarded. People.
Yeah, I agree with the bargaining thing. Bargaining can get you stuff for cheaper. Bargaining can bring two people closer together on their prices when they're like 50 plat off. It can make both people happy when their prices are separate. Like, bargaining can be very, very valuable, and I recommend bargaining, but at the same time, I don't recommend posting a bargaining message, right? So when you're selling something or buying something in trade chat, especially, well, mostly just selling stuff, like, if you're gonna buy stuff, just use Warframe Market at this point. Fuck. Like, you could use trade chat, but it takes way longer to find people in trade chat for the same price. So if you want to get stuff for cheap, you use Warframe Market. But if you're selling stuff in trade chat, putting an initial price on it will actually find you more results than if you don't.